Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. The Fermi survey over here, and today we are going to look at how we can add data into the ArcGIS Pro environment. This is a crucial step in any map making process. This video is part of a short focus series that I'm putting together on how to create a professional map using the ArcGIS Pro software. The video is designed to be quick and easy to follow, so make sure to follow closely and go through each step at your own pace. And if you find this video also helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe, and make sure also you turn on the bell so that you don't miss out on the next part of the series. To add data to your ArcGIS Pro environment, I'm actually going to show you two ways in which you can do that. The first part has to do with the catalog section, where you can connect your folder that contains all the data that you want to work with into the ArcGIS Pro environment over here. And then the second part has to do with the map tab, and within the map tab under the layers panel, it gives you the option to be able to connect your data into the ArcGIS Pro environment. Now, the very easiest one, which you can do most of the time, that is the bonus one I want to add, is when you have your data on your desktop. You can, depending on the type of data, you just select the data, and then you drag and drop it onto your working area. Now, with the first part, which has to do with connecting the folder that contains all the data that you want to work with. Now, under the catalog section, right under folders, you see the folder that is being created over here, creating a map in the ArcGIS Pro. It's the folder that is actually containing the whole project package of this project that we have actually opened over here. So to connect our folder that contains the data, we select folders, you right click on it, and then we go to the add folder connection. Now, this pane gives you the option to be able to connect to where your data is inside your computer. Mine is located on the desktop, so I go to desktop, tutorial folder. This is the folder that contains the data that I want to work with. Inside it, I have another folder, and this is the data that I actually want to work with. The rest of them, I don't need them. So I connect to this folder, I select this one, and then I click on OK, and then that folder is being added to my catalog section over here. And then when I cascade it, you see it's showing all the data that is available inside that particular folder. And I can just add this data by dragging and then dropping the data onto my map view section, and then the system automatically loads to to show me where my data is. Aside dragging and dropping it, you can also right click on your data, and then you select add to current map, and then your data would be added onto your working area over here. Now, the second part has to do with going to the map tab, and under the map tab, under the layers panel, we go to add data. So under the add data, we select the first one, which is browse. So just as the folder connection brought us this window, the browse section also connects us to the computer, and then we select where we have our data located, and then we bring it into the system. So I have mine here, tutorial folder, shapefiles, regions and districts updated, and then depending on the data type that I want to bring in over here, I select that particular data, I click on OK, and then that data is being loaded into my working environment that I have over here. Now, the last part, which I was talking of, has to do with when you have the data opened on your desktop. So this is a shapefile. So the one that has the .shp for shapefiles, I just drag and drop it onto the map view section, or onto the content pane section, whichever way your data is going to be displayed. So once I drag and drop it, you see that my data is being loaded onto the system, and then I can work around with it over here. So those are the ways that we can add data into the ArcGIS Pro environment. Now, back to the main focus of the series, which is to create a professional map using the ArcGIS Pro environment. We are going to start by connecting the folder that has data that you want to work with, and basically that is the method that I prefer to use most of the time, to connect the folder which has all the data that I want to use, because it makes it very easy for me to be able to do all the analysis that I want to do. So this is the folder. I connect this folder inside the environment, and then I have everything being shown over here. Now, to import any data onto the map view section, at the end of the series, the map that we would have is a professional map that shows all the health facilities that we have in Ghana, but then we will focus it on one particular region, which is the Greater Accra region. So we'll be having a map that shows all the health facilities in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. So then what the data that we will need to work with is data which shows the boundary of the region of the Greater Accra region of the Greater Accra, and then also data on the health facilities which we have in the Greater Accra region, and possibly add maybe roads or rivers, whichever one that makes it fine. Possibly add or include that one also to our map. So with the first one, which is the data that has the regions, so this is all the regions that we have in Ghana. You can see it from the attribute section. So under this admin 1 English column gives you the regions that we have in Ghana over here, and we have about 16 regions, and then we are only going to focus on one, which is this one, which is the Greater Accra region. And now the second data that we need to add is the Ghana Health Facilities data, which is this. You also drag and drop that one. So once we add the Ghana Health Facility data, you can realize that there is no data showing on our map view section for the Ghana Health Facilities, and that is because the Ghana Health Facilities is a tabular data, and then these shape files, we are looking at them over here because they already have some projection parameters being set among their formats, and that is how come the software is able to automatically recognize the actual place of this data, and then it has zoomed to that section, and then it is showing us the data that we have over here. But then this Ghana Health Facility, being a tabular data, does not have any coordinate parameters being set for it, so the software does not know where to put it. So once we have this, it's saying standalone tables. Once you have that, we then have to set a coordinate system for this tabular data so that the software can recognize where this data is from and then display it on our map. So you do that by right clicking on the Ghana Health Facilities, and then we'll go to create point from the table. Since it's a tabular data, go to create point from the table, and then the first one, create a table from the create XY table to point. So we wait for it more. Okay, so this is actually all the parameters that it needs to be able to display the data that we have. So we have the X section being the longitude, and then the Y section being the latitude, and most importantly the coordinate system that we have to set. This is a geographic coordinate system WGS 1984, and then the data that we are working with uses the geographic latitude, the geographic coordinate, which is the latitude, and then the longitude, which is this one. Yes, so we have the geographic coordinate here, which is the latitude and longitude of all the Ghana Health Facilities. So don't save. So you would leave the coordinate system as that, or you can either click on the drop down and then set it to that of the current map, which is actually the same thing, because the shapefile that we brought in here also uses the WGS 1984 coordinate system. And then the input table, which is these sections are automatically filled. That is because we are creating point from this Excel table, and then the input table automatically has that of this table, and then the output feature class is the name that the software would give it once it has exported this one into the environment. So you can decide to change it or leave it like that. So let's leave it like that for the meantime. And then this zip field is when we have height data or elevation data being added to the system, of which you don't. So we leave it empty like this, and then we click on OK. And then the software will now process the data with the assigned coordinate system, and then you see the health facilities being shown on our map. So we have some warnings now, geometry. Okay, let's ignore this one. So this is it. So now we have set a coordinate system for our tabular data, and then we have it displayed over here. So if you want to add any data to, let's say we want to add data for routes. Where is routes? Okay, this is routes. We drag and drop routes also on it, and then we have all our data in our map view section over here. So this is the data that all the data that we will need to create the professional map that we are looking at. So I have all the data over here, and then it is being displayed in my content section. And then also I can go ahead and then give this one a nice name, because what is showing over here, I don't like it. So can delete it and then give it a nice name, which is the Ghana Health Facilities data. Alright, so this one is also administrative regions. Administrative regions. And click on OK, just to make them stand out at the content section, be able to simply identify the type of data that I'm working with. Alright, so now I have all the data that I need inside my software, and I'm good to go. So next part on this series is we are going to focus on the Greater Accra region, and then we are going to look at how we can clip out the Greater Accra region. If it is this one, how we can clip out that particular region out of this hole, and then do the same thing for the route as well, and then the Ghana Health Facilities, and then performance and symbologies, and if possible also add some bar chart and then pie chart to it, and then we move on. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit the like button and then subscribe, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss the next episode.